I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Anyone claiming that America's economy is in decline is peddling fiction.
I've abandoned free market principles to save the free market system.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Raising the debt ceilings does not increase our debt. It does not somehow promote profligacy.
I know words. I have the best words. Nobody knows the system better than me, which is why I alone can fix it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Peddling Fiction Podcast. Hopefully, the internet makes it through another episode. I am your host, the voice and soul of so-called fiction, Johnny Profita. Back with me, of course, is the one and only Justin Hillbilly Boy Campbell. What's going on over there, Hillbilly Land?
Oh, the usual joys of living in the Midwest. It was supposed to be in the 50s and 60s today. So that meant yesterday it was 20 and snow flurries. So, if you don't like the weather around here, just wait around for 30 minutes. It'll change.
Yeah, I'm going to be there tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
Can't say I'm really excited about it.
You're less excited about the actual travel part. You always seem to have just the best of luck with your flights.
Yeah, I'm trying to. When was my last flight? Was in July, I think. So we'll see how things go. I have a new card, new lounge status. Although it's pretty much the same lounge status. So we'll see. I'm going back tomorrow, and then I come back here on Monday. So I'll be there for a few days. Old man's birthday, kind of combining that with a belated Christmas for me. And Bears game Sunday. How about them Bears? Your Packers really fucking collapsed again, dude.
The fact that
I forgot to talk shit about that earlier.
The fact that the Packers didn't fire Matt LaFleur before the end of the weekend pisses me off more than anything. You can lose in the playoffs. That's fine. You can't lose to the fucking Bears in total collapse fashion in the playoffs and still keep your job. And instead they're talking about trying to work out a deal and keep him on and all of this other shit.
He's up for a contract extension, right?
Yeah. It really sucks being a fan of a stable franchise sometimes because sometimes you want ownership to just do something rabid and fire the guy because they're pissed off that he lost to your rival in the playoffs. And instead they're like, oh, he's a really good coach and he's got the third best record over the last such and such years and all coaches in the league and blah, 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 blah. It's like, so we're going to extend him. It's like, no, fuck him off with his head. He lost to the Bears twice.
Yeah, Bears hadn't won a game in 7 years against the Packers, dude. It was pre-COVID was the last time they beat the fucking Packers. But those two losses were pretty. I honestly didn't think you had a second collapse like that in you. But congratulations, that was something.
Yeah, it was something.
So yeah, Bears game Sunday. Looking forward to that.
Your audience is largely libertarian. We just lost half of them here in the first 5 minutes. Talking about sports ball.
All right. I apologize. Let's get back to what's been going on in your parents' basement. And your imaginary girlfriend online. No, we do have some serious stuff to talk about today. But I must say the Bears were the only thing that really surprised me in 2025. I think the main thing that I got wrong was that the Bears were not 9-7. Probably should have been. They had, what was it, six come from behind wins, I think, with like 2 minutes or less. And so it could have easily been a 9-7 team instead of 11-6. But yeah, that was the one big surprise, 2025 for me.
Caleb Williams definitely surprised me. He's a much more poised, competent quarterback than I expected him to be. Especially in clutch pressure situations. He seems to be pretty solid.
He's shockingly bad on like 5-yard outs. He'll miss that by a fucking mile. But man, he had some that 4th down toss to Odunze was fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, I can stop. We can stop twisting the knife there. But I guess there were a couple. So no, because the Venezuela thing was 2026. Yeah, there weren't very many surprises. I know a lot of people were caught off guard by precious metals in 2025, but I was not one of them. I don't know where you want to start. What do you want to start with? Get the boring economy stuff out of the way, or should we go right into the Trump Venezuela / taking over?
Get the boring economy stuff out of the way, because I think that does kind of tie into the Trump, Venezuela, gold, oil, all of that stuff. So,
all right. So we got the first CPI print of the year today, and the headline CPI rose by 0.3 month over month. Prices are up 2.7% on a year over year basis, according to the government numbers. I think expectations were for 2.8. So everyone's pretty, expected to rise at 2.6, rise from 2.6 to 2.7. Okay. Yeah. So pretty much right in line with expectations. But if you pay any attention to the precious metal, not even just the precious metals, any metal, pretty much any commodity, they are going fucking gangbusters right now. Silver touched $89 an ounce today. It's pulled back to a little over 87 right now, but 90 is definitely in the crosshairs. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets there sometime this week. There might be another. There's a lot of volatility in silver, but yeah, so there might be like another violent pullback. But all these pullbacks in silver seem to be pretty short-lived. Gold is at a new all-time high today, or hit a new all-time high. Hit 46.3463, so over 4,600. The charts look incredibly bullish. I know there's a lot of people saying this stuff is all overbought and this is just some sort of bubble. This is not a bubble, dude. First of all, you have to have people participating in a bubble. Nobody I know was going all in on gold and silver stocks in 2024, 2025. They were all in on tech stocks, Nvidia and Palantir and all that stuff. But the general, you're not hearing, I mean, maybe now you'll start seeing people talk about it finally, because silver has had this meteoric rise over the last couple of months. But I think this is a couple of things going for the metals, one of which is inflation is not at 2.6, 2.7%. Like, that's just, it's ridiculous. I can't even believe they come out with these statistics with a straight face. I mean, we all know what happened to the last statistician that pissed off Donald Trump. So the idea that these numbers are not going to come in line with expectations is a fantasy. He gets rid of the people that don't give him the numbers he wants. He gets rid of the people at the Federal Reserve that won't cut interest rates for him. The Federal Reserve has restarted quantitative easing. They won't admit that that's what it is. They say, yeah, we just need to provide liquidity or something to the markets. But they've restarted purchasing treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. Within 2 weeks after they were supposedly tightening, they just flipped again. I think the first week of December, they were like, okay, we're going to start tightening up a little bit. And then they just immediately, 2 weeks later, 12 days later, they're like, okay, well, we're buying a bunch of treasuries. And then a month after that, okay, now we're buying 200 billion in mortgage-backed securities. So they're doing quantitative easing. I don't care what they call it. This is printing money and injecting it into the economy. So you're going to see a lot of those inflationary pressures reflected in these metals. But silver is also, speaking of all the AI stuff, it is the most sought after industrial metal right now. It's used in all of these chips and all of these data centers and all of these electric vehicle batteries, and all of those solar panels require a lot of silver. I think it was Samsung just came out with this new battery, this solid state battery that uses 1 kilo of silver per battery. That's 2.2 pounds for those of you Americans over there. 2.2 pounds of silver per battery. But it's supposed to, I think it's like a 600-mile range or something like that, and a 9-minute recharge time on this battery for electric vehicles. So there's going to be so Asia's been buying physical metals like crazy, and the US, which doesn't do a lot of this shit, has just been trading the paper. And so all these banks, these huge banks, have been shorting silver like crazy for the last 20 years. And they're starting to get raked over the coals. And I mean, they're hundreds of billions of dollars in the red on all of these short positions, and they have to start covering. So you have the inflationary pressures, you have the demand for physical silver is way outpacing supply. We're already behind in terms of the amount of silver that can actually be mined in a year for the amount of silver that needs to be used for all of this stuff that requires silver. And you have this AI boom happening right now at the same time. So the demand's going to increase, and you cannot just mine, you can't just be like, okay, let's go get some more silver. Most of the silver is a byproduct of other mining copper and mining gold. You get silver while you're doing that. But due to all the regulations and shit, like it takes like 10 years to get a new mine going. So like from the day you discovered like, okay, yeah, there's some silver in here, to the day you actually get the silver out of the ground is like 8 to 10 years, like pulling permits and all the regulatory shit. It's a nightmare. So you can't just flip a switch and get a bunch more silver. And I think JP Morgan, HSBC, Morgan Stanley, all of these banks are about to get very, very fucked. Morgan Stanley, just for, I know some of our listeners got caught up in the GameStop short squeeze. If you guys remember that a few years ago, GameStop, it was like the hedge funds were short like 140% of the float, which is like the number of shares that are outstanding. So the short position was ridiculous. It was way too much short interest. And so all of these Reddit users and everything just started in buying this stock. And the stock went from like a couple of bucks to $500 a share or something like that when it peaked. So some people made a lot of money on that. Hedge funds had to keep covering. And if you don't understand what a short squeeze, you're selling the stock in anticipation of being able to buy it back lower. And when you do that, your risk is unlimited because the stock, as GameStop proved, can go up forever. It doesn't have to come down. And so your risk is essentially unlimited. And at a certain point, you cry uncle and you have to buy it. And that pushes the stock up further. And the more shorts that get squeezed out puts upward pressure on the stock price. So Morgan Stanley right now, their short position is 5.3 times worse than the total hedge fund short position was for GameStop. They have shorted, it would take 7 years of production to get the amount of silver that they need to cover their short position. Just one fucking bank That's not including JP Morgan's been short this, HSBC's been short this, Deutsche Bank has been short. Like every bank has been shorting this, and they're short at like $43 an ounce. And we're at 86.75 right now. Like, I don't like this could drive I mean, who knows how high it can go, but I don't think this is a bubble. I think anybody trying to short this right now is asking to get their ass handed to them. I think the fundamentals look pretty bullish to me. The technicals look pretty bullish to me. And with Donald Trump at the helm, printing money like it's going out of style, I just don't see why any of these metals would go down anytime soon, other than just more manipulation, which Morgan Stanley allegedly they're about to get charged with manipulation of silver. They were spoofing orders for the last like 15 years or something. And so they need to unwind their position in the next like month so that they're not still short when the charges officially drop. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that is true, they have to buy about $100 million ounces of silver every day for the next month to cover their shorts. But so that's my 2 cents on the precious metals market. But like I said, we have had a huge run up. So I wouldn't be like out of the question if these just chop around here for a while and sort of build up some. That would actually probably be healthier for especially a lot of these mining companies. You know, it's like when prices move that fast, they can't really keep up with it. They need to kind of catch their breath. So you could see a lot of volatility here in the short term, but ultimately I don't see a reason for them to go lower. I don't think this is a bubble. I think this is screaming monetary issues, and everything that we're seeing coming out of the government would seem to back that up, right?
Well, and Jerome Powell is being referred to the DOJ for criminal investigation for knowingly misleading and lying to Congress about some sort of a big like construction project at the Fed. They spent like $2.5 billion on something, and they had lied about that. And so like it's this all started back in July, where the referral got started when it became clear that he had apparently lied about this building project that was taxpayer funded. And now he's actually being referred to, or it's actually going to the DOJ for an investigation. Whether anything actually comes of that, who knows? And then Powell is such a cocksucker. Like anytime Trump says anything about him, he puts out a video just being an absolute ass. And like
boomers have not figured out how to like use social media. They put out these really cringe like selfie videos or something.
Yes, that's exactly what he did. It was exactly what you would expect. Like he needs to figure out like where Trump hired the people who run like the White House X account and like the official government social media accounts, and like hire somebody from that pool and let them put out your response. Like have it be something that's, you know, witty and funny and like a clip together video of something. Like don't do the selfie video where you look like he looks like an absolute boomer Karen. Like, oh, well, I do this and I do that. No. It's like, nobody fucking cares, dude. Shut up.
Yeah. And for all the shit he talks, he's been very accommodative in terms of monetary policy. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe he didn't cut rates as often as Donald Trump wanted, but he's still been cutting rates. Like, and, Trump goes after him. He went after that, what was that lady's name? That was with the mortgage fraud. He's getting everybody for mortgage fraud. And she worked at the Fed, and she was one of the dissenting voices. And he's like, all right, well, I'll get you on mortgage fraud. Apparently you can just get anybody in Washington, D.C. for mortgage fraud. And he's just come out and said, like, straight up, I want people at the Fed that are going to cut rates, because we have a $39 trillion debt and all like over a third of it, I think, is coming due in the next couple of years. And we need to roll it over. He doesn't want to roll it over at 6%. He wants to roll it over at 2-3%. So it's and he wants to do that because apparently he just wants to spend a bunch of money on every. Did you see that military budget that he proposed? 1.5 trillion. $1.5 trillion is the proposal for the next Pentagon budget. That's like fucking insane, dude. 1.5 trillion.
I thought I saw that they were dropping mortgage rates on top of the 50-year mortgage. We're also going to get a cut on mortgage rates, and they put in the thing with capping credit card interest rates at 10% for like, it was like a short-term thing. It's like for a year or so, like a year moratorium on the 20 and 30% credit card interest rates, capping those at 10%. So
again, these are all just horrible ideas that like everyone's just so far up to their eyeballs in debt. It's like they're just going to go further into debt. You're just the credit card. I mean, credit card rates are insane. Every once in a while, I'll catch a clip from. Actually, I sent you that one thing I sent you about the VA fraud, that financial audit show. Everybody on there has like 3-4 credit cards. They're paying 28 to 32% interest on them, and they've maxed them out. And it's like, okay, great. So you cut that to 10%, and then what? And then what? They're like the behavior is not going to change, and that the U.S. has the same fucking problem. It goes it's all the way from the individual to the federal level. It's all debt. It's all fucking debt, dude. It's crazy how much and how little they're like. Nobody's even trying to address. They still just propose more spending. Am I still with you?
yeah, you were cutting out a little bit. You're right. I got you. I got you.
I should probably close some of this stuff. All right. Close
so
some tabs.
Talking about the credit cards and like the debt and stuff, Peter Schiff had commented on it that this was a bad thing, that it would drive these banks and the credit card companies to not give credit cards to higher risk consumers and stuff. It's like, is that necessarily a bad thing? Like, these people don't really need to be having credit cards anyway. Like, I get it. Like, everybody deserves to have credit or whatever, but also like, look at where we are debt wise. Look at credit card debt for the average American. Like, somebody needs to tell these motherfuckers no.
Yeah. No, you can't just enable them. And yeah, it's the same thing they did. Anytime you're artificially suppressing rates and bending the rules to maybe put people in houses they can't afford because, you artificially lower the rate so that they can temporarily afford it, they're just going to dig the hole deeper. They're going to rack up a bigger balance now because it's only 10% interest. But they're never going to be able to fucking pay the balance down. And that interest is just going to keep compounding. And like, oh God, dude, the people are so bad with money. It's mind boggling. And there is a certain percentage of the American population that just should not have credit cards. Like, they don't understand it and they have no self-control. Like, you should never carry a balance on your credit card unless it was like a fucking emergency. Like, you had to go to the hospital or something, and in order to pay the bill, you had to put it on the credit card. You should not just be buying fucking Chipotle on a credit card and leaving that balance running for months on it. And just pay it off every month.
Right.
And if you cannot budget so that you have enough money to pay off that credit card, they're giving you an interest-free loan for a month. That should be good enough. But if you can't control yourself and you cannot budget in order to do that, yeah, you should not have a credit card. Like, you're incapable of managing your finances, and you're going to, again, this is why we have so many people that are like in poverty, especially at like retirement. Dude, the amount of money that people have saved for retirement is pathetic. It's and it's a lot of it's, I mean, the credit card stuff, yeah, but it's also that the government has kind of stepped in and filled this paternal role. It's like, oh yeah, well, we'll give you Social Security. People depend on that. And that, I mean, dude, depending on the government for a monthly check, be very careful, depending on the government for anything, because none of that's, you're not entitled to any of that stuff, and none of it's guaranteed. Remember when you lost your SNAP benefits for 2 weeks? I know nobody died, but they were probably pretty scared. Like, it's mind-boggling how they've destroyed the American people, just their mindset. And like, people would take more responsibility if the government wasn't like coming in there and saying, oh, don't worry about anything, we'll take care of you, we'll save for your future, and we'll make sure that you're taken care of. And of course, they spend more money.
Nobody died when they lost their SNAP benefits. I was told by very, very good sources that thousands upon thousands of people were just going to starve to death in like a week and a half.
Yeah, I know.
There's some statistics came out that show that the average female on SNAP benefits weighs 212 pounds, while the average female not on SNAP benefits weighs 143 pounds. So.
Okay. Yeah. And then somebody was posting the numbers about like what percentage of SNAP benefits were just used on soda and candy. And it was like crazy. It was like the vast majority of money went toward just buying like Coke.
No, straight junk.
Yeah.
Indiana put it in. Indiana, it went into effect on, I think it was on January 6th or 7th, like last week. So the 5th, it was last Monday. It went into effect that no EBT or any of that stuff can be used for any types of junk food. Like, it has to go to straight food. And people were getting all work. They're like, oh, well, some people have to have Sprite for because they have such and such health problems.
Yeah,
they have such and such health problems, so they need Sprite. And it's like, okay, like
then you can use your disposable income to buy some fucking Sprite.
Right, you can get the generic Sprite at fucking Kroger for 99 cents for a 2 liter. Like, you seriously don't have a dollar for a fucking.
Yeah. I know. I saw somebody. I was like, I think kids should be able to enjoy the joy of having candy or something. And it's like, no one's, again, they do this thing where it's like, oh, you know, the Republicans want to take away your access to healthcare and educate. Like, nobody's taking away your access to anything. It's there. You just have to pay for it. Like, I'm not going to pay for it for you.
Right. We're just saying we don't want to foot the bill for it for you. Like, you can have all of that. You can have everything you want in the world. You just might have to pay for some of it.
Yeah. So how badly do you want it? Yeah. Do you want it badly enough to work for it?
Oh gosh,
and the answer a lot of times is no.
Oh gosh, that's terrible that they have to, face the same dilemma and choices as literally all of the rest of us who work and pay our own bills and like.
Yeah, it's no wonder that we're basically atrophying as a country, because nobody is expected to do anything or to struggle at all. Everything's just supposed to be handed to you. And so we end up being these 225-pound blobs of worthless shit, just sitting around drinking soda, living off fucking the government teat and childcare fraud or whatever. It's just like, yeah. We suck so much as a country now. It's depressing. And nobody's demanding any accountability. Nobody is demanding any sort of excellence. And when you do, you're ridiculed and berated by a huge portion of the population, the corporate press, and all these pussy politicians out there. It's very frustrating. Demanding some sort of basic level of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. Just like
Accountability.
not even excellence, dude. It's just so basic. It's just so basic level of fucking competence. And that apparently makes you a horrible person. And it's like, no.
You're a racist, you're a classist, you're all of the
right.
all
Except
the
I just hold the same demands out of everybody across the board. And anybody that's raised kids would know that if you really cared about your kids, you would demand some level of competence from them because you don't want them turning into a useless sack of shit on food snaps, just drinking Pepsi all day.
Yeah.
Anyway, how did we get onto that? We're supposed to be talking about Venezuela.
Yeah. Well, you know, the economy and the everything's everything's going in the shitter, and a lot of it has to do with a lot of it stems from
the spending.
Yeah, all of that spending. And what was the thing you'd sent with like all the NGOs and the just billions upon billions upon billions, like $593.4 billion a year in California, $445.8 billion in New York, $124 billion in Minnesota, New Jersey, 113, Washington, 139. And oddly enough,
just look at the number, the number of NGOs in California, 200 and some odd thousand.
13,000. Yeah. New York, 132,000. Minnesota, 41,000. 56,000 in New Jersey, 44,000 in Washington. Like, it's just fucking insane. Like,
nobody could keep track. Like, of course it's going to be 95% fraud. Obviously. Like, these numbers are ridiculous, and they just throw the money at these things, and there's 200,000 of them. How are you going to manage that? How's anybody going to manage 200 and some odd thousand of NGOs and make sure they're all legit?
Well, and interestingly enough, a lot of those states are the states that the Trump administration has said, until y'all clean up your fraud, we're not sending you any more federal funding. And now those states are trying to sue. They're like, instead of saying, okay, let's go clean up the fraud, they're suing and saying, no, you have to keep sending us the money so we can keep funding the fraud. Like, what kind of fucking logic is that? Yeah, it's the same thing. You know, we're talking about the SNAP stuff. It's like, what was it? 21 states, I think, that, and guess which direction those 21 states leaned in the last election. But like 21 states that the Trump administration said you're not going to get federal funding for SNAP and EBT and all this stuff if you don't go in and start cleaning up the fraud and cleaning and like holding people accountable and actually checking and finding out who's getting it and how much they're getting and why, and making sure that like if this is being done responsibly. And instead of being like, okay, yeah, that's fair, we should probably look into this, they're gonna sue the government to keep allowing them to, like, this is where we are. It's fucking insane. They would rather sue Trump to keep funding fraud than just clean up the fucking fraud. Like, they don't care about you. They don't care about your tax dollars. They don't care where it goes. They're not interested in helping the American citizens. They want to help themselves by funding all of this fraud, because I guarantee you it comes back to some of them in probably very large percentages. I mean, Ilhan Omar's net worth just over her congressional career.
Yeah, and you look at all of them, they're all fucking millionaires now. And most of them come in there and they're like, oh yeah, I'm from the working class or whatever. And then give them a few years and they're raking in millions.
Right. Like, how in 5 years in Congress making $120,000 a year, you now suddenly have a net worth of like $8 million. Like, that math isn't mathing, huh?
Although I think they make like 175 now. They give themselves a raise a couple of years ago. Yeah, these people don't care. I just can't. I still have trouble wrapping my head around the idea that people believe, like, if they did not make any fucking money, if it was an all volunteer thing, and it was impossible for them to make a fucking penny off of anything, maybe I would believe that they were there to help me. But they all stand to benefit massively from telling you that they're here to help you and that they're going to go after the billionaires and whatever. But I mean, come on, who would like, you wouldn't believe me if I just walked into your, like, knocked on your door and said like, hey, I'm going to help you by like going after all these people. You wouldn't believe me because there's something in it for me. A lot in it for me. Hey, just give me like 40% of everything you make and I'll make sure that you're taken care of. What? It's like the dumbest fucking deal ever. It's literally the dumbest deal. And I can keep coming up with boogeymen to point to as to why I couldn't solve the problem the first time. Millionaires and billionaires. Now that I'm a millionaire, now it's just the billionaires.
You just give me another 2%, and next year I'll crack it. Because now I've identified what that problem was. So it's just another 2%, and next year I'll take it. I'll take that problem down, and then next year it'll be a new problem.
Yeah, my favorite thing is, dude, this billionaires tax that they're trying to get through in California, and billionaires are already leaving. Yeah, and that surprises them. It's like, yeah, I'm not sticking around for that. I'm not sticking around so that you can tax me on everything I own. Everything, every year. You have to evaluate like how much furniture I have in my house and what it's worth, and then I got to pay taxes on that. It's retarded. It's absolutely retarded. Nobody's going to stick around for that, especially when we're uncovering, you know, hundreds of billions of dollars worth of fraud in the system already. There really needs to be some sort of day of reckoning for that. Like, the government is completely out of control.
Well, and especially when you're talking about people who have the disposable income to move. And there are places like Texas and Tennessee and Florida where they can move with no income tax and like, yeah. And also like way more affordability as far as being able to live in a place like Texas or Florida, or especially Tennessee. It's like, crazy,
far
right?
less regulation. You know, I know we missed the January 6th anniversary. We also missed the 1-year anniversary of the California wildfires. As far as I know, nothing has been rebuilt. Like, not even one house.
I saw a thing on that. Stephanie pointed it out to me. There is currently a big fight going on where, like, the destroyed properties and stuff like that, all of these basically like not BlackRock, but sort of like BlackRock, things similar entities as BlackRock are coming in and like buying all these properties and stuff up on the cheap because, you know, it's all still destroyed and nothing's been done, and then turning around and like trying to resell it to people for 3 times what it's worth. Like, it's fucking insane. Which Trump didn't Trump put that thing in not allowing big entities like that to buy property, to buy homes and stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know how big of a problem that is in the overall market. Like, Warren Buffett is not going to get into the business of buying single family home. Like, there's the juice isn't worth the squeeze when it comes to those big firms. But when you get something like California, where it's like, okay, yeah, these homeowners, they're faced with, they still have to pay their fucking property taxes, which are astronomical. And you're looking at like, it's going to be 10 years before you can fucking rebuild. Like, they're just starting to get stuff cleaned up. They've drilled some like caissons and dude, these things. Watch like Adam Carolla talk about like when they pour these foundations and shit. They drill these fucking things 4 stories into the goddamn earth, dude, for like a little house. It's like, it's crazy the amount of regulations and stuff that you have to go through. It costs like $2.5 million just to put the foundation in for the house. And it's not going to be like a $50 million house. It's going to be like $1 million house, like size wise, you know? It's ridiculous. And yeah, California is just, it's no wonder they have so many fucking problems. It's illegal to do just about everything there. Like, everything's illegal. And you got to go pull permits and get permission, and you got to get you ever listen to the Iced Coffee Hour podcast? Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good podcast. They do a lot of like financial stuff, but one guy on the show, I think his name's Grant or something, like he had some property in somewhere in LA. I think it was like he bought this place and he was going to rent it out. He had somebody to rent it. And then like there was some sort of condenser thing that failed the inspection. And it was like a 15-minute fix. Just be like, okay, hang on. Let me go. Like my guy can just go to the hardware, get like a new condenser and plug it in, whatever. I don't know much about construction, but it sounded like give me 15 minutes. I'll have this up to code. And the guy's like, nah, sorry, I'm done for the day. Like you're going to have to, come call us. Like we'll come back next week or something. And he gets a different inspector the following week. And these inspectors, they basically have to find something wrong to justify their existence. So this guy finds something with like a crack in the pipe coming from the street or whatever. So now he's got to fix that. And then a different inspector comes and is like, well, there's a tree here. So you got to like do something with this tree and then plant another tree. And it ends up costing like 40 fucking grand worth of horse shit. And he has to give like 90 days notice to the tenant who had already basically signed, like was prepared to move in. And he's just like, yeah, fuck it, dude. I'm out. I was going to do this and I was going to, rehab a couple more properties and provide rental places for people. I'm selling that. Like I'm never doing this again. Is a fucking nightmare. There you go. California in a fucking nutshell. But yeah, he does like a whole video. He's like, why I'm never fucking doing this again in California. Like why I'm selling everything in California and getting the fuck out, financially speaking, because the government has completely fucked it up. And the amount of fraud is it's staggering. We only know the numbers of the dollars that they've taken. We have no idea where it went. The 23 billion for homelessness. Who knows what are the numbers on their bullet train that they've been talking about for 30 years? It's cartoonish how bad it is. And there's no accountability. There's no nothing. And speaking of the wildfires and iced coffee hour, the Caruso, what's that Billy? I forget his something Caruso. This billionaire real estate mogul, Rick Caruso, I think is his name. He has this huge, it's like an outdoor mall complex or whatever in LA. He was able, with his private firefighting force, was able to save his entire complex and everything on his block. All these other properties on his block. He used his own personal private firefighting force to save everything on that side of the street. So fuck your police and fire for the tax. How'd they do over there? What did they save? They saved nothing. They let the whole fucking thing burn. And it turns out that it was like a stand down order from some supervisor telling them not to basically put out these fucking fires that could have been put out like 2 days before, and not to monitor them or whatever, like 2 days before the fucking winds picked up and spread it everywhere. They were told to just like go home, stand down, whatever, some supervisor. That's your government fire force, firefighters. And then this guy with his private force saves the entire fucking block. Okay. And he also ran for mayor, I think. He lost to that dumb fucking broad that while everything was burning was like over in Africa dicking around.
Karen Bass.
Karen Bass, thank you. So I know that was quite the tangent, but yeah, that is just a microcosm of like, how much bigger do you want government to get? Ask yourself that, because they're already up your ass for just about everything. And anybody that's owned property, like you can't do anything to your own property without pulling a bunch of fucking permits and getting permission to put like a new bay window on your house. I remember that was like a big deal. The house I grew up in, mom wanted to put in a new bay window and she didn't fucking pull the permits or something. And we ended up doing it. Yeah, fuck the goddamn government. It was just like, oh God, I hope the inspector doesn't drive by and just be like, hey, what are you doing here? You can't do that. Shut it down. It's like, well, is this my property? Do you own anything? No, the government fucking owns it all, and they're up your ass in every single aspect. And people keep voting for more of it, which is insane. What have you gotten for what you've paid so far?
I'm glad I live in like rural red state. When we lived in our old house, I built a nice big gazebo in the backyard, and one of my buddies came over. He's like, "Did you like talk to the county about that and get all the permits and stuff?" I was like, "No, fuck that. I built it." I was like, "What are they gonna do? Like come in my yard and tell me to tear it down? I'll straight up go to fucking
like they literally will."
That's like
they will barge in to your house. Like they'll just walk in. Like, I work for the fucking whatever, and stop working right now. Put down that fucking hammer.
This ain't the kind of neighborhood where you do that slow shit.
Yeah, but I mean, like those places, like dude, any major city, Chicago, LA, New York, like they will walk into your fucking house and tell you to put down the hammer. You didn't pull the permit. And apparently it's legal to do that. Just like it's legal for these ICE guys to fucking yank you out of your car and throw you in a fucking cage. Like, they can do it. So how much more government do you want? Because you keep voting for more. Yeah, you're protesting these Gestapo guys going around and fucking detaining people and deporting people. You voted for it. Whether or not you put two and two together, probably didn't. So you're a fucking idiot. But that's government, and you keep voting for more of it, and you keep voting for more fucking taxes to go to it. And if you think that the 2% billionaire tax is just going to stop at 2% and stop at billionaires, you are too retarded to vote. You should not be allowed to do that. You shouldn't be allowed to fucking do anything. If you think that like, how do you think we got the income tax as it is? Nobody likes it. It's a democracy, right? So it would have to get the majority of people to support it. How did that happen? Oh, well, they said it's not going to affect you. It's just going to be on the millionaires and the billionaires. And now look at you. Look at you now. You're paying more in taxes than ever before. You got more government up your ass than ever before, less freedom than ever before. And now when it falls into the wrong hands, when Donald Trump takes the reins, or vice versa, when Joe Biden takes the reins, well, now you don't like it so much, do you? Yeah. Idiots. God damn it.
Talking about when Donald Trump does it, I really want Trump to come out and like completely reverse position on something that he's been really firm on for the last year. Like come out on a Monday and just do a complete about face, and then watch the left meltdown and flip the script and start protesting in the other way. And then on Wednesday, come back and reverse again and be like, no, I changed my mind. We're going back to this, and watch them turn on their head, and then come back on Friday and reverse again and be like, oh, well, after looking into it further, I've decided, and like, I just want to just for like 2 weeks, just go back and flip flop on something stupid that doesn't matter, and watch them just like do cartwheels to keep changing direction on what they're protesting today.
Just to make an example out of it, not that it's not already blatantly obvious, but like it would just be perfect if he comes out and all of a sudden
Trump has done some very trolly things in the last year. That would be like the icing on the cake. I really want to see something like that, just to really fuck with him.
Well, and he does say like so many crazy things just this year. Okay, so apparently we're taking over Venezuela, kidnap Maduro. Venezuela is going to become the 51st state, at least in the interim, until he can hand it over to the right people in Venezuela.
We're just going to annex Venezuela. It'll be like Puerto Rico and all of those. Like it's not going to be a state. It'll just be a
territory.
U.S. territory.
If they get rid of the income tax over there, I'll fucking move to Venezuela.
Greenland, on the other hand, that's the 51st state. He's supposed to be meeting with Denmark to talk about it. There are people that have been like, there have been some like in-depth podcasts and posts and stuff about like the logistics of the United States buying Greenland, and like it's not that far-fetched. Like, the United States buying Greenland is a lot more likely than the United States like using a military operation to overtake Greenland.
It'd be cheaper. That's so I saw something. I was just like scrolling through YouTube or whatever, and they play like 10 seconds of whatever the clip, and they were talking about how few people actually live in Greenland.
Oh yeah, I think
it's like not even like a city, like a small city in Michigan. It was like Kalamazoo, Michigan, or something they compared it to. I can't remember which one, but there's not that many people there.
Like 57,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God, dude. I don't know. I mean, he just says so many crazy things. I don't know what he's thinking anymore or what to believe. But if he's trying to make Donald Trump's a fucking dictator hysteria crowd go crazy, he's doing a very good job of that. Venezuela being, I mean, no, okay, we're fine. It's just some retarded fucking message on leaving your hotspot on for too long can drain your battery. Thanks, idiots. Yeah, I know. So the Venezuela thing, that was fucking crazy. He goes in there, there's like some military base, and just takes Maduro and his wife, moves them to communist New York, which I thought was just perfect. Maybe Mamdani can get some pointers from him while he's sitting in a prison cell with what's his name? P. Diddy or whatever. I think they're in the same prison.
I was trying to find like a comparable city in the United States for the Greenland population of 57,000, and that wouldn't even put it in the top 350 cities in the United States.
Yeah,
Greenland, all of Greenland doesn't even crack the top. Like number 350 has 100,128 people.
Yeah, Kalamazoo is actually bigger, 73,598 as of 2020. Dude, these censuses are so fucking old. It's fucking 6 years ago. Yeah, I was surprised at how few people live there, but I mean, I guess it's pretty cold. I don't know why else nobody people live in fucking Minnesota. That's pretty fucking cold too.
But they were all imported from Somalia. That's the problem. There's 100,000 Somalians that were imported in Minnesota. Like you can't even convince 100,000 Somalians to go to Minnesota or to go to Greenland. It's too cold.
So, okay, what are we going to do with Greenland after Trump steals it?
Okay. I'm glad you asked. There is a show, and this is kind of interesting little thing. I was wondering if the opportunity to play this might come up. So there's a show on Netflix called The Diplomat, and The Diplomat is surprisingly honest with a lot of political and especially geopolitical concepts and ideas and stuff that they talk about and the way that they do things on the show. And it's also just a very good and entertaining show, but there is a lot of surprisingly honest politics in some of what they do. And so ignoring the fact that this is two women in positions of power, talking rationally and not behaving like complete psychopaths, unless you know the full context of it, which is kind of crazy. But this clip actually kind of breaks it down fairly well. And it's pretty short. So I'm glad you asked.
The quickest way for Russia to penetrate our naval defenses is steaming from the Arctic to the North Atlantic. This is our military presence in the Arctic. These were Russia's Arctic military positions in 1995. Today, infantry, naval, radar, search and rescue, air defense, the biggest buildup since the Soviets fell. This is where we lost Russia's most sophisticated submarines in the North Atlantic for 3 weeks. This is where we found their Lasharic submarine, which we noticed only because it caught fire. We have no idea how many more there are, but we think they're around here, 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 and here. This is Cregan. You know what Cregan is?
A nuclear submarine base in Scotland.
All of the UK's nuclear weaponry is housed at Cregan. It's what makes them one of the 9 nuclear powers. Also, it's the only base in Europe where we can dock our nuclear subs. It's the last place we have any hope of detecting a Russian sub before it's in the vast Atlantic barreling toward New York. Cregan is target 1 in the European theater of war. The Scots hate nukes, and they hate English overreach, but they really hate having a bullseye on their heads. If Scotland had gone independent,
They would have closed the base.
in a second. When we took our forces out of Iceland, Russian sub-activity skyrocketed, as did air incursions. When we pulled our combat brigades from Europe, anyone?
Russia annexed Crimea.
Is there a universe in which the United States could afford to lose the base in Scotland?
No.
Yes. Where we buy Greenland and then we set up our own base there. And so again, like I said at the onset, this show is surprisingly honest with a lot of geopolitical stuff, and that was all based on like legitimate things that have happened over the last 20 years. So you know, it's fictional characters, but they use a lot of the real world events to build the story. So like when they're talking about that Greenland is a defensive strategic spot in that it gives us basically control of the North Atlantic if we have a base there.
Okay. All right. I think I've heard that Cregan, that's an island, right?
It's in Scotland.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, yes, the United Kingdom is an island technically.
I thought it was an island off like the coast or something. All right. And were they trying to like sell that or give it away? What are they doing with that?
That I'm not sure. I
thought they were trying to do something with it.
Probably trying to close it down.
All right.
You know, trying to de-escalate the world, except that, you know, not everybody's on board with de-escalation.
Yeah, well, it certainly doesn't sound like it. Threatening Iran too. If they keep shooting their protesters, or they start shooting their protesters, we're gonna go to war there. I'm just looking at Greenland. That map is driving me crazy because they put land in blue color and water in white. It's really bugging me. For those of you that were just listening. But okay, so dude, how much of Greenland is actually livable? Doesn't look like much.
Very little. I don't think much of it is
just kind of along the coast. Oof, that looks cold. Not interested. Not interested. But that'd be hilarious. Dude, if Donald Trump buys it, that'd be so goddamn funny. Remember when he first proposed it too in his first term and they were freaking out. Yeah, I want Greenland. How much? And whatever the number is, it's enough to solve world hunger. Just remember that. And end homelessness. As long as it's not Somalis that are in charge of the programs.
I think California has proven it doesn't matter how much money you spend, you can't solve homelessness.
Yeah, they can make it worse, though. They can certainly make it worse if you give them the money. Oh, you give us $23 billion? Okay. Would you like us to double or triple homelessness over the next 5 years?
So anyway, we've tried to talk about Venezuela a couple times and keep failing. So yeah, they stormed this compound. It was like an account of what happened, whether you believe this or not. It was like a security guard there that was interviewed, and he said like they came in with like, I don't know, a handful of soldiers. They used like sonic weapons that made everybody like basically gave them all vertigo and made them bleed from the ears and like collapse, and just like stormed through, wiped everybody out. That like everything went out. All of their countermeasures and everything just died. And then like a whole fleet of drones just come flying in. And then the helicopter hits and they just march in, wipe everybody out, snatch Maduro up, march back out. No casualties on the American side. It was just a straight up smash and grab. They hit like all of their air, all of Venezuela's like air bases and airports that would service anti-air support, wipe those out right off the bat. Like just completely annihilated everything. And it just like in the course of an hour and a half. Like,
yeah, it was like 90 minutes or something. I know this is fucked up, but that would have been really cool to watch. Like the modern warfare techniques. That is crazy. It is crazy. And I mean, Maduro was expecting it. You know, I kept remember seeing all these reports. It's, oh, he's changing up his routine and he's moving around. Like he
like,
knew.
come. And he was like, come get me. It's like, okay. Challenge accepted.
Well, did you see the thing where he was making fun of the Trump dance? And Trump mentioned it?
That's where he fucked up. I mean, even NFL and college football players do the Trump dance to celebrate touchdowns. Like, you don't make fun of the Trump dance. That's
dance is the best thing that we got out of the Trump presidency, bar none. It is awesome. And Maduro like made fun of it or something. Trump mentioned it in an interview. I forget which interview it was, but he was just like, hey, made a crack about my fucking dance. Like that probably was the reason why Trump fucking greenlit this operation. I'm not putting it, but it's like, yeah, it'd be nice to get the oil or whatever. Like, I wouldn't put it past Trump. He's like, you made fun of my fucking dance. All right, let's go. Let's go get him.
Yeah. So they're holding Maduro in New York. He'll be charged in the Southern District of New York with, I don't know.
Yeah, it's drug charges and then like firearms charges. This is just so ridiculous.
It's a bunch of different random stuff. There are some things that explain that like Biden was very anti-Maduro as well. Like Biden's the one that raised the bounty on Maduro from like 25 million to 50 million or something. Like it's all the leftists that were like protesting in the street release Maduro. Y'all were all against him just like a year and a half ago, whenever, you know, they had their election where he lost, like where the opposition party got like 68% of the vote, and Maduro was just like, nah, we ain't doing that, and stayed, and then Maduro put a bounty on the guy that won's head, so that dude fled to Spain. Like, yeah, this is totally all of the things that the left would absolutely lose their shit if Trump did, and the things that they are terrified in 2028 Trump is going to do. That's exactly what Maduro did. Not just once, but twice. He did it in 2020 as well. Like,
they've already been done. They just haven't been paying attention. Dude, I mean, they literally are just, it's the NPC meme where they just switch the chip out. That is the best fucking meme of this century, I think. It's just so appropriate.
Well, then
they're freaking out about the ICE stuff, dude. ICE has deported millions more people over the last 4 presidencies, each one of them, than Trump's deported right now. But all of a sudden, it's a huge issue. And I think Trump's only going to get like a couple 100,000 people out for all this rigmarole.
I think right. I'm almost positive that the Obama administration deported more people per year than Trump has, but like they don't. Nobody talks about that.
The corporate like CNN isn't fucking bombarding people with negative news stories about it. Actually, I think I had the numbers for the previous presidents. Hang on, just give me 1 second. Yeah, I mean the Venezuela thing is it's insane. Like the idea that would not be considered some sort of fucking act of war. We just go into a country and fucking take their president. That is just wild, man. And there's a lot of fucking. You got the numbers.
The Biden administration averaged 271,484 deportations per year.
Yeah, and so that's higher than we are right now, I think. Didn't I could have sworn I fucking flagged that. But it was like 1.4 million total, I think, under him. Oh, Jim's saying he didn't. Jim is contradicting the podcast, huh? How many have we gotten so far this year? I thought it was like low 200,000.
Oh, ended up being 600,000. Nice.
Well,
thought we were gonna get 1 million
this year or last year.
Yeah, 605,000 last year.
Oh, they really pumped those numbers up. I thought it was like 200K.
Yeah, they must have really stepped it up in the last half of the year because like around I don't know July, August, it was only around like 150.
Yeah, I remember being like, "Yo, they're not on pace to do anything meaningful."
Yeah, they must have really
considering like 10 million came in the year before.
They set up shop. They set up shop at airports and just snatched people who were flying to visit with all the illegals that were flying to visit with family for the holidays. They're already in the airport. Just stuck them on a plane. I mean that's like an easy way to just rack your numbers up. Just like camp out at the airport, and as they're walking through, snatch them, put them on a different plane, gone immediately. Now, like boom, 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 boom. Like I mean, we're getting whole plane loads here. Keep it going. That's
yeah. I remember that one story where it's just like, yeah, you just march them to the other end of the fucking terminal.
Jim says 2 million self deportations. That doesn't count though. That's just the vacation ended.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show you, like, he was so effective. He didn't really even have to do anything. You just had to change the tone and the messaging. Biden was so welcoming. What did they admit to coming in under Biden? Was it 10 million? 8 million? 8 to 10 million? Something like that. It was a crazy number that they admitted to.
Well, the fun thing about the 2 million self deportations, that was kind of interesting the way they did that, because there were people around here. There was a guy that worked at where Stephanie used to work. He was here on a work visa, and the work visa was set to expire sometime in 2026, sometime this year. And basically DHS just like sent him a letter that said, your visa's not going to be renewed. So we will give you like $3,000 and a one-way plane ticket back to where you came from, or you can wait until your visa expires and then we're going to come snatch you up and send you back. Like, what would you like to do? Like, that's a hell of a way to do it. Like, hey, guess what? We know where you are, and you can either GTFO, and we'll even give you some cash and a plane ticket to get out of here, or we're going to come get you. Like, how would you like for this to go down? You're leaving one way or the other. It's either with money in your pocket and a comfortable flight, or in a detention center for a while, and then, we stuff you in the cargo hold of a plane and drop you wherever.
Yeah, it would be nice to use the carrot instead of the stick for a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, like these tactics that they're using now that has everybody protesting in Minnesota and California and Portland or whatever, you're not doing yourself any fucking favors.
But I would guarantee you, all of these people that they're going after were given that same option. Hey,
yeah,
we'll give you a plane ticket and some cash in your pocket to GTFO, and they chose option 2. They said, nah, we'll do this the hard way. Which, I mean, that's just a precedent established by the last administration that was so soft on illegals, like where they were at the southern border, literally cutting down the fences to let people just walk through. It's like, yeah, they don't believe that you're actually going to come do it, because everything that they've seen previously was not going to do anything about it. So this is where we are.
That's why I got to do this. Sorry, it's
Johnny's playing scratch offs.
No, it's time for me to check into my flight.
Oh, that's right. You're leaving.
Yeah, unable to find my trip again.
We better wind this down and let you figure out.
Here we go.
Before you end up having a bad time at the airport again.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much more internet I have either between. I didn't stream, or I wasn't using the hotspot today. I traded for my fucking phone this morning. Had a decent day considering. Made back most of my losses from yesterday, so that went well. But yeah, it's like we gotta do this, and then to upload it and to put it out, it's gonna take another fucking like 30 minutes probably. So yeah, is there anything else we need to talk about?
No, we hit all the important stuff.
Yelling at my fucking phone.
I say, if you're available on Friday, we can go into a little more of the details about the Venezuela stuff, talking about the oil and like what's next, the changing of the guard, or like the people who are going to be in charge and stuff like that. We can get into more of the what's coming next if you're available Friday, or we can do that next week, because there is a lot more to the Venezuela stuff than what we ended up having time for today.
Yeah. Friday morning I might be able to do something.
I should be able to make that work.
There's going to be a fucking ton of people at my parents' house, I think, but I think I can set up in the basement or something in true libertarian fashion from your parents' basement. I can do a broadcast.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, we'll try to do one Friday morning and actually get into some of the important Venezuelan stuff. Let's check. The markets have closed. Should we see where we finished today? Let's have a look-see. Down across the board, which makes sense. We ran previous all-time highs yesterday, so that's what they do before they take it lower. They go and stop everybody out that was trying to trade the breakout long. No surprise there. Let's see where my precious metals at. So silver's down to 86.95. Did they run those lows yet? No, those are below 85. I wouldn't be surprised if they take silver below 85.29 briefly. Although it looks like it's finding some support in this gap here that I identified. I'll do a I do have some time tomorrow morning. Maybe I'll do a market commentary tomorrow. But it's gonna run for 89.12 tomorrow or Friday. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah, tomorrow or by Friday, I think they'll take those out. So gold's still kind of hovering near all-time highs. Bitcoin back above 94,000. That's a big move. It still has not broken structure on that bear flag that I identified. Despite somebody pointing at, he's like, it confirmed that it's not a bear flag, and I was like, no. I don't know what bear flag you're looking at, but might be making a move. We'll see if it bounces off that resistance there. Yeah, we can get into that and do the Venezuela stuff Friday. I'm sure there'll be some other stuff that happens over the next couple of days. You got anything else going on?
My plan is I will be returning to my own show on Thursday morning.
All right. All right.
That is the plan. So
Cool. And then, yeah, I'll be back here, hopefully with actual internet by Tuesday. So, yeah, we should be, maybe our schedule won't be interrupted. That would be nice.
hell yeah.
Depending on how Friday, I'll let you know like Thursday if I can do Friday morning. Just confirm it.
Okay.
And until then, you guys know what to do. Just keep on peddling that so-called fiction. Peace.